Hello, everyone. Hello. Turn that heat down a little. Hopefully y'all can hear me. So yeah, thanks for being here. Is that how I want to do it? Yeah. Dorothy, you're on the camera. Let's try to flip it. Anyway, that's a little better. Oh, it says I can't do that. Yeah, whatever. Amateur hour here. There we go. Pretty good. That's my dog, Dorothy. Annabelle's in here as well. Just going to pick my brother up. Did a checkup. Figured do a little road rambling because I don't know how busy I'll be today, and I owe people some sort of video. So, yeah, I wanted to talk about coronavirus, reactions to it, and things of that nature. Neighbors out. So, yeah, hopefully you can all hear me. You'll probably lose me for a brief second up here because I live in rural PA. We still don't have things like good cell service and internet. So, forgive me if I lose you for a minute. But, yeah, so the coronavirus and the reaction to it. Now, I don't have any new information. I understand that Trump's saying it's not that big of a deal. I understand that, you know, there's all kinds of angles. Could it be a intentionally weaponized thing from China? I don't know. I'm not really going to focus on that or focus on how bad it could be. As always, you know, protect yourself, be reasonable, don't freak out over things you can't control. But yeah, you should be looking out, you know, in case of an emergency for yourself or your family. Absolutely, that's a good idea. But what I wanted to focus on was kind of the reaction to Trump by a lot of these Democrats in the establishment arena. Remember when Bill Maher said on his show that he was cheering for a recession or a depression to bring down Trump? I mean, that's a disgusting type of mindset. I think that you could see in at least a lot of these media people's voices on the Democratic side that they're absolutely hoping that coronavirus kills a bunch of people in the United States. That way they could blame Donald Trump. And I can't think of a more disgusting reaction. Now, I'm saying this is everyone. And if you're one of my friends on the left, I'm not saying this is you. But certainly this is prevalent, just like when Bill Maher publicly said, I hope that there's a depression. He doesn't care that that'll affect the poor people I know that live paycheck to paycheck. He doesn't care about that because his goal is removing Trump because he needs his team to win. Well, I think a lot of that's occurring as well. So let me just first say, you could go back and read stuff that I wrote in 2016. I thought that Hillary Clinton would win the election like most people. And what I said in the days leading up to the election, I was going to vote for Trump. I was doing everything I could to out the corruption of Hillary Clinton and to kind of push Trump. But I said over and over, if Hillary Clinton wins, I will cheer for her to do great for this country and prove me wrong. Just like I did with Barack Obama. I didn't like Obama. But I would have been more than happy to eat crow and say, wow, this guy did awesome for the country, had he done that. And I'll even praise Obama in the ways that I thought he did good, the things that I think he did good. I would never imagine cheering for a pandemic, cheering for economic collapse, cheering for a natural disaster, just to hurt a president because I wanted to vote for the other person. I mean, that's insanity. And it really is. It just shows you just how callous these people are. They don't care. And why would they care about coronavirus? Look, the truth of it is, you see that the death rates in places like China are much higher than places in general, and a better preventative medicine, etc., that would be able to probably make sure that the impact of the coronavirus wouldn't be as severe here as it is in China. What I'm trying to say is, the wealthier you are, though, the chances of you surviving something like corona would be much, much better. You're in a gated community, you have access to better quality health care, you have access to the best doctors. So why would the elite in DC care? They don't care. Just like they don't care about illegal immigration. Just like they don't care about economic collapse or stagnant wages. They don't care because it doesn't affect them. They don't care if we ban fossil fuels, that people like me that are living paycheck to paycheck won't be able to afford gasoline to drive to work. They don't care about that. All that matters is them and what directly affects them and their agenda. And so, of course, this mindset would be prevalent because corona is never going to affect, it's not even going to affect me as much as, you know, the people that it will affect the most is like in San Francisco, homeless populations, places where people are in unhygienic conditions and in large groups. Those are the groups that will be most affected. So it won't even be me, but still, I have concern. And let me just say as a brief aside, I'm hoping that the virus doesn't come to the United States for any reasons. And I am someone on this channel that talks about the need for, as someone who's going to run for Congress, and as someone who's focused on our politics, that our politicians need to focus on American citizens first. But as a human being, anytime there's some sort of disease and a pandemic like this, my heart goes out to people. I feel terrible for the people in China. I feel terrible for people in Europe and other places that are going through this. I know people that are under quarantine in some of these places. Well, I don't know if they're under quarantine, but they're in some of these countries right now that they're starting with quarantines. So don't think that I'm callous just focusing on the U.S. angle of it. I do feel bad. And I hope that if there's anything that, you know, our scientists and doctors could do in terms of a vaccine or a cure, that they are helping other countries with that. But again, my focus is on what the government's doing here. Now, I've heard people like Pelosi and Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren says she's going to take the money from Trump's racist wall and put it towards fighting the coronavirus. Well, one, I'm sick and tired of this pandering. I mean, it's a thing that Bernie does. All of them on the Democrat debate stage constantly do. Racism, 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 racism. That's all they have. Look, if you're tired of the Russia collusion crap that's clearly a lie, that they've gone to that well over and over again, and we prove that they've lied every time. They've been doing the racism thing for 50 years. It's a lie. There is no proof that Trump's racist. Trump's doing more to help the black community than Obama ever did. And even if you think that he secretly harbors racist feelings, he's a really bad racist because the black community's doing better under him than it was under Obama. And even in that world, that doesn't mean people that support Trump are racist. It's just garbage. It's just garbage that people throw out. The idea that wanting to protect ourselves from illegal immigration through a wall is racism is ridiculous. But all these people like Elizabeth Warren and Chuck Schumer, they say it's on Trump. Trump should have done more. First off, what's happened so far? I don't think, I could be wrong, someone could correct me. I can't read the chat right now because I'm driving, safety first. But I don't think there's been one death of the coronavirus in the United States. And even if there has, it's certainly been very limited compared to what we've seen in other countries. So before it even happens, before it even gets bad, the Democrats can't wait to say, Trump caused this disaster. Someone in the New York Times wrote, their headline was, let's call it the Trump virus. How is that possible? Won't they look foolish if it turns out no one in the U.S. dies and it's not a big deal in the U.S.? Then what? Since they're saying, and this is one of the problems, when you blame or credit one person for everything, when things turn around, then they intuitively get the blame or the credit. So if you're going to say, the reason this virus is bad is because Donald Trump, well, if it turns out not to be bad in the United States, then I guess you admit Trump did a great job. So why wouldn't you keep your mouth shut until something terrible happens with it in the United States? Oh, I know, because you're hoping that something terrible happens. That's what these politicians are doing. They can't wait to blame Trump. They want hurricanes. They want gun violence. They want things like this. There's a great movie that stars Aaron Eckhart. It's called Thank You for Smoking. And he plays like a PR person that works for the smoking lobbyist. And at the beginning of the movie, he goes on a talk show, kind of like Jerry Springer or an Oprah or whatever. And they bring a young person on that has lung cancer from smoking. And there's an anti-smoking person who's like, this is what the smoking community wants. They want people to get cancer. And Aaron Eckhart's like, no, we don't. We want to have healthy customers that buy our products for the rest of their life. You're the one who wants them to die. You hope that this person suffers so that you could use him as a martyr to say, bring down the smoking lobbies. Now, it's obviously just a movie, but that's the exact type of mentality we see. They want disasters under Trump so that they can say, see how bad Trump is? It's disgusting. So remember that if you know someone who gets sick or it's been affected by a natural disaster or it's been the victim of some sort of violent crime, that's being cheered for by a large section of the establishment. They want that to happen. Now, they keep saying this is Trump's fault when nothing's happened. What should Trump have done more? Because I saw when Trump recommended a travel ban from certain areas of China and to China, Schumer tweeted in early February when Trump did that, more than 30 days ago, before it was even a big deal. Schumer said it was a terrible idea. It basically showed Trump was being a dictator. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. And by the way, which one of the ways that this virus will spread? Well, it's by having people that we don't know much about come into this country from places that we're not sure of. You know, like illegal immigrants. So Elizabeth Warren saying, oh, we should get rid of this racist wall. What are you talking about? If this virus shows anything, it's the dangers of unfettered illegal immigration and globalism. It shows the dangers of relying on China for so many of our products. A communist dictatorship, basically. Most of our medical supplies come from China. Oh, well, now there's a problem in China, so we have to suffer. Trump's been the one person who's been out there trying to fight against that type of stuff. So exactly, if you're someone right now, if you're, one of my friends on the left, or you dislike Trump, and you're saying Trump should have done more, please give me the specifics of what he should have done. If he would have quarantined people, you would have said he was a dictator. If he would have put travel bans, you would have said he's a racist. Oh, he doesn't like Asian people. What was he supposed to do? Unlike what Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and the Democrats would have believe, there is not infinite money. We have to, and look, that's one criticism I have of Trump, that he deficit spends more than he should. But what's their recommendation? What should we have done? What if the CDC comes out and says, okay, in order to an endemic like this doesn't occur in the future, we need to massively restrict immigration. It's Chuck Schumer? Is Elizabeth Warren? Are they going to say, oh, okay? Or if they say no, can we say, okay, then the next pandemic's on you? They would say, of course not. You can't politicize pandemics. But that's exactly what they do. Are you starting to see a pattern? Everything they accuse you of, they do. So I have no idea. I don't know the specifics. Trump's out there saying, look, the Democrats are using this to try to crush the economy. So they're fear-mongering because they want them to help them in the 2020 election. I've been saying for weeks, everyone that's, you should not get so excited that, oh, Trump's guaranteed to win in 2020. You shouldn't get that excited, because the truth is, yes, I think that the Democrats are making fools of themselves. And I think people are waking up. But never underestimate the deep state corruption. Ever. They're going, what did I say? I'm like, they're going to bring women out of the woodwork to say Donald Trump sexually assaulted them. They're going to have story after story, leaks that come out of his team saying that he did this, he did that. The Russia stuff's going to continue unabated. And what was the other thing I said? They're going to try to crash the economy in order to blame Trump, because that's the big thing that they can't touch Trump on. The economy's doing pretty damn good. So if the economy starts to falter, that would be a big blight on Trump's chances to win. I've been saying that for over a month, that that's what's going to happen. Now, do I think that the Democrats or that the Federal Reserve intentionally unleashed the coronavirus in Wuhan, China? No, of course not. But, like I said, not everything has to be a false flag. Not everything has to be, a grand conspiracy. I don't have to prove that this was an intentional attack or anything like that. All I have to prove is that our government and China's government and many governments around the world are experts in exploiting when tragedies happen for their own gain. So it doesn't mean they had to create Hurricane Katrina, but they could use Hurricane Katrina for their benefit. Same with 9/11. Now, could they have been doing stuff to make... Of course, it could have, but I don't even have to prove that. Because if we get to the point where we say, okay, there's a tragedy, let's stop politicizing it, then it doesn't, right? Like, that's all you need to know that you got to be wary of this kind of crap. So, we got to find a parking spot here. One second. This'll do. Alrighty. So that's what I'm talking about with the coronavirus. They're more than happy to exploit it, just like I knew they would. That they would exploit this type of some sort of tragedy. They're going to try to tank the economy. That's what's going to happen. I'm done driving, so I can look at the chat now. So, hey, 7 people watching. Not bad for just a roadside rambling here. But that's my dog, Annabelle. Annabelle, you want to wave to the camera? And this is Dorothy. Come here, Dorothy. Dorothy, come here. This is Dorothy. What are you doing, Dorothy? Okay. They love going for car rides. I don't know if they like listening to me ramble about politics, but too bad. Too bad. So, yeah, that's what's going on. We should all be wary of this type of stuff. Again, if these Democrats want to say Trump should have done more, give me specifics. What should he have done? I know this. I'm not an expert. I'm really not. But I know certain things about all pandemics. That the more kind of hygienic, the bubonic plague and stuff, what was that about? Well, it was about, poor hygiene and things like that. I know that being hygienic's a good thing, like having access to services and stuff's a good thing. Maybe the Democrats could run on that and try to say something like that. Hey, what's up, Milo? But I also know that things like having unfettered flow of people also can contribute to pandemics and things like that. So if the Democrats want to politicize this and say, oh, this proves the need for, Medicare for all or something like that, doesn't it also simultaneously prove the need for border control? So why is it that we could blame one side and say, oh, Trump, it's Trump's virus. Trump did this, Trump did that, Trump should have did more. Give me specifics on what we should have done. Why was basically you saying we shouldn't even detain people at the border? That's what the Democrats say. Shouldn't even detain people. Why is that a good idea? Why doesn't that contribute? Now, as far as the fear-mongering, I mean, I don't know. All I could do is tell you what history's been. Yes, I know that I've said this from the get-go. Like, I'll just give you rehash what my stance on the corona was from the get-go. What's up, Milo and Benny? Thanks for being here. To me, gosh, that sun's brutal, isn't it? Let's try that. I'm not going to pretend like I'm not on a deep dive on, I did my business. I talked about how the person who wrote the treatise in the United States on bioterrorism, the doctor said that he thinks that this looks like it was weaponized. The COVID, the original strain of this that was in Canada, you had doctors that were basically smuggling out or got in trouble for working with the Chinese government. This looks like the strain that came from Canada that was being worked on. We know that the Wuhan facility is a biological weapons facility. They work with biological weapons. We know that it's also a World Healthcare Organization facility, so that they probably knew about this beforehand. Now, does this mean that it's a conspiracy, that it was intentionally released? No, it might just mean that they were involved in some shady stuff and it accidentally got released and they're incompetent in trying to cover it up. That's a possibility. I mean, I guess it's a possibility that China released it on purpose. They've certainly used it to their benefit to some degree, cracking down on the Hong Kong protesters and things like that. So, I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to know that stuff. To me, here is my take in what I talk about a lot, I guess my area of expertise. Isn't it a shame that we don't have a credible media and we don't have government agencies that we can trust to deal with this? That's kind of the point of having these type of things. Yeah, David says it's a false flag. It might be. I don't know. I don't have any proof of that. But it doesn't have to be a false flag being blown out of proportion to be weaponized against Trump. And that's where my focus is. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, it matters in the sense if this was intentionally released by the government of China or something, sure, they should be held accountable. But I don't know how I would prove that. But we shouldn't allow it to be politicized, right, Annabelle? Yeah. Oh, this is funny. People are probably more interested in the dogs than what I have to say. So this really illustrates the problem. Look, as much as of a, I think that the federal government's out of control. I think it's too big, etc. I also understand the need for it, and there are certain things we need the federal government for. One of the things you'd like to think you could count on them for is something like a pandemic, right? They should be responsible for our defense. Thank you. My dogs are beautiful. This one, Annabelle, she's older now. She get a little gray in the face. I think she's 8. And this one's a puppy. She's not even a year yet. She's like 7 months, huh? Oh, my goodness. They love riding in the car, though. So, yeah, it's a shame. I don't know. All I know is this. Yes, I understand that all of these executive agencies and all of these government agencies, to some degree, are independent. But I don't trust our CIA. I don't trust our IRS. I don't trust our EPA. I don't trust our FBI. And not because I'm some wacky conspiracy person, because I've seen them be corrupt time after time after time. So why would I trust our CDC? Hey, don't bark at people. Be reasonable. Hey, you. You're on camera. Be reasonable. You want people to think you're a grumper. She sees someone jogging. So, you know, that's a shame. And then look at our media. Wouldn't it be nice? Why is this lighting terrible? Wouldn't it be nice to have a media that we could trust? Wouldn't it be nice to have? Why is it up to people like us? Me and you probably are having a more truthful conversation about the coronavirus, how to help yourself, things like that, than the media is. The media is out there fear-mongering. They actually have resources where they could get to China. They could have people talk to doctors to be able to get the best possible information, how to protect yourself, how this happened, what we could do to ensure it doesn't happen in the future, what we could do to help the people that are infected and to prevent more people from getting infected. But instead, our media are just, take down Trump. They're just part of the establishment. Thank you, David. I appreciate it. So, I mean, that's my real take on it. Just how terrible it shows that we can't trust these agencies that we're paying tax dollars to trust. Or we can't trust media that constantly tells us. You know, that's the irony. When the media tells us, they pat themselves in the back. They say, democracy dies in darkness. The media is so important. Free press is so important to a country. It's so important to be able to inform people of what's really going on, to shine light on corruption. That's true. The media is important for that. Unfortunately, we haven't had a media that's done that for over 30 years. The closest it comes to people like me, independent content creators. And so what's the media do? Well, they're working with Silicon Valley to shut us up. That's exactly what they're doing. Meanwhile, like, I'm willing to listen to why Trump did bad here. I haven't seen a mass pandemic in the United States. I haven't seen even one person die of coronavirus in the United States. Please, if you have a criticism with what Trump did, tell me what he should have done more. And then be honest with yourself. Whatever you're about to suggest, well, he should have banned travel to China or something like that. Maybe that's true. But if you're on the left and you're making that criticism, be honest. Your party would have said, that's racist. That's a dictator. You can't have it both ways. If Trump would have came out earlier and said, okay, we're banning travel from China. We're going to start checking illegal immigration. We're going to do a better job stopping people at the border to make sure that they don't have diseases. They'd have went nuts. The Democratic Party would have went nuts. This is racism. This is Trump being a dictator. So when he didn't do that stuff, or he only partially did, now they're saying, oh, Trump didn't do enough. So, yeah, okay. I will check that out, Benny. Benny puts up some sources to get real stuff from the coronavirus. I mean, for me, it does seem to be the most, I don't want to say fear-mongering, but it seems to be the biggest fearful disease that I've seen in a long time. She's a mutt. She's not a, come here, Dorothy. Come here. So I think she's part boxer, part lab, but both of her parents were mutts. So, and then this one, Annabelle, is half Boston Terrier, half Beagle. Huh. A Bogle. Okay. They're good dogs. They're really good. A little bit of a barker. They wouldn't hurt a fly. They love people. But when you're in the car with them, anytime they see a person, they want to bark. Well, this one does at least. Annabelle's old. She don't care, huh? But, yeah. It's Trump's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. So, I don't understand what this big movement is. And I understand why Trump's coming out saying, look, we're doing what we can. It's just fear-mongering. He's right. There is just fear-mongering. Yeah, the stock market is going to get hammered because of all this fear-mongering from Corona. Now, how different is this from, you remember SARS? Remember West Nile virus? Remember the swine flu? I don't know. So I have no clue what's going on with that type of stuff. So who knows? I mean, it's just the willingness to, I'm not going to sit here and say, I don't know. It's not my area of expertise to know how significant will the coronavirus be, what exactly is going to happen, etc. I don't know. I'm not going to make that prediction. But I do know that it's the people that are fear-mongering right now. Some of them are hoping that it gets bad. And even the ones that aren't hoping that it gets bad are more than happy to use this to try to blame Donald Trump. And I don't see any connection to Trump whatsoever. At all. Yeah, Ebola. That was another. I don't know. To me, it seems like fear-mongering. Now, let me say, though, having said that, I've long since said, if we're going to see some sort of terrorist event that's going to have the greatest impact, it'll probably be some form of bioterrorism, more than a chemical weapon or a nuclear weapon, because it's much easier to get your hands on biological agents and things like diseases. More people have access to that type of stuff, and there's plausible deniability. Like, we still don't know. Is the coronavirus man-made? Was it weaponized? Is it something that occurred naturally? We don't know. You might think you know, but we don't know for certain. So if it was an attack, we're still at the point where we don't even know if it was an attack. So that's why bioterrorism should be taken seriously, and we should be cracking down on terrorism and making sure that there's kind of international, what's the word I'm looking for? Sort of international cooperation or international looking at this sort of thing. And like I said, the facility that this came out of is a World Health Organization facility. So why is it that we're blaming Donald Trump, who has nothing to do with that, instead of asking the World Health Organization serious questions? What's going on in that facility? And then, look, we constantly, never forget this. We constantly hear about Russia, Russia, Russia. Without a shadow of a doubt, China is our biggest geopolitical rival. And China has influenced our government more than Russia ever did. They're buying off senators, they're buying off universities, they're buying off lobbyists, they're buying off big companies. For God's sakes, the NBA, Hollywood, they're all willing to capitulate. They talk about how bad America is, how bad our legal system is, how bad our criminal justice system is, how bad our government is. But when it comes to China, oh, mum's the word. China's a great place. Look at what they're doing to their people there. Look at how they're lying to them, how unprepared they were. But that's signed off on by all these people. So all the people that sat there and told us, and it's similar to what Bernie does. Bernie will bag on the United States, but then he talks good of Castro. So where are all those people? They're still blaming Trump. I mean, I don't know how to make this more transparent to people. I'm sure the 15 of you watching or anyone watching later understand that they just blame Trump for everything, even if there's not proof. But how many times have to they get egg on their face before you're like, okay, I'm not taking them serious? I mean, it's over and over. Everything's Trump's fault. Everything. Wildfire in Australia, Trump's fault. A Trump hater writes a big screed about how he hates Jewish people and he hates Trump. So he shoots up a synagogue in Pittsburgh, Trump's fault. A Bernie Sanders supporter shoots Steve Scalise and a bunch of Republicans at a ball field, Trump's fault. I mean, it's ridiculous. And it's shameful. Meanwhile, I'm defending people on the left. Like when Scalise got shot, I didn't blame Bernie. But we have to put up with this crap over and over. Everything's Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault. It's conservatives' fault. It's Trump's fault. Now, I didn't see that. 6 Mississippi Democrats and switch party. Look, I'm telling you. Again, be optimistic, but be cautious. So I'm going to keep fighting to help Trump and the conservatives win in 2020. Because my big issue is I want to end the corruption. And I think that that's the best chance we have of ending the corruption. I think the Democratic Party at this point is unelectable or unvotable. I can't vote for them in good conscience. If you're on the left, vote Green Party. If you don't like Trump, if you don't like Republicans, fair enough. Bernie's a sellout. He cheered for the coup against Trump. And now that all of a sudden he's being tainted with the Russia thing, he's like, oh, no, how dare you say that? But he had no problem smearing Trump and still smears Trump with it. But, I mean, people are waking up. Of course they are. That doesn't mean it'll matter because the corruption's so disgusting, they might still try to cheat Trump and win. They don't care. You think they're beyond switching some votes on a Diebold voting machine? You think they're beyond having dead people vote or illegals vote or whatever? Of course not. So don't get too confident. But yeah, when it comes to actual on the ground, I know many people that dislike Trump. And look, believe it or not, I'm a Trump supporter. I think my videos show that easily. I think I defend Trump quite well. But I understand there's reasons not to like the guy. If you're someone who's concerned about personal character, for example, and you don't like the fact that he cheated on his wife, fair enough. If you don't like his language, okay, fair enough. That's not how I decide to vote. But hey, if that's how you decide to vote, fine. Maybe you don't like his tariffs. Maybe your industry's been affected by his tariffs. I could argue with you why the tariffs were necessary, because China's screwing us over, as we can see with this coronavirus thing. But fair enough. You don't like that policy or some of his policies. That's fine. I'm not going to hate you or say that I can't be your friend or have a reasonable discussion because you don't like Trump. But look at this establishment Democrat Party. How could you vote for them in good conscience? Yeah, Paul, I did see that. I saw Trump with the Black History Month. Again, I was talking to my mom earlier today about this. I've heard Trump's a what has Trump done that's racist? I heard people tell me that Trump was going to lock up LGBT people. He's been, as a Republican, he's been more supportive, to the chagrin of some Republicans, of LGBT people than any Republican before him. Yet he's going to lock gay people up. What are you talking about? And you can only cry wolf so many times before the average person's going to wake up and say, yeah, this is nonsense. Yes, yeah, thank you, Milo. If someone could post my Discord, if I have any mods in here, that'd be great. I'm on the phone. I can't do it. Yeah, I mean, who knows what's going on in North Korea with how many are affected. And if, you know, in a place like North Korea that there's crippling poverty and terrible health care, the death rate will probably be high, unfortunately. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just, I hope people are waking up. I hope people start to see, you know, that's my job. What I'm trying to do is talk to normal Americans and just tell them, like, look, this is insane. But like I was saying, there are people that don't like Trump, and I see them waking up. I had a friend of mine call me after the Iowa caucus and say, this was the first time I considered voting for Trump because the Democrats are so horrible. I've had people tell me, like union people, you know, I was writing in 2016 that I knew union people that were willing to switch to vote for Trump because the Democratic Party that used to be the party of, at least they claim to be the party of the working man, now they're more concerned with illegal immigration. Now they're more concerned with reparations. Now they're more concerned with driving a racial wedge between us. They're more concerned with transgender bathrooms. They're more concerned saying we need to wipe out all these industries, many of which have unions, in the name of some climate change boogeyman. And so if you're like, where is that people? Let me talk to those people for a second. If you don't want to vote for Trump, that's fine. That's fine. But where's the party for the people that don't want to vote for Trump but feel like they've been abandoned by the Democratic Party? That's why I'm trying to convince the Republicans we need to be reaching out to those people. We're not going to agree on everything. I'm not saying that my friend, you know, downtown that was a career union man is going to like exactly. Okay, I'll figure out how to do a bot, Tiger. Or Tigger. Yeah, I'll try to do that. To post up. But, you know, where's their party? They're like, I don't like Trump for X, Y, and Z, but I can't vote Democrat. Republicans, we should be reaching out. Are they going to agree with everything we say? No. But we're better than what the Democrats are offering. And I mean that about all these demographics. You know, someone said Trump in a landslide 2020. I hope. But it's not guaranteed. Don't make the same mistake that the Democrats made. That's what right now, at this point, there was some chubby guy who was a Hillary fan probably doing a YouTube show saying, Hillary's got it wrapped up. Trump's the worst. You saw that went. Never underestimate the corruption of how they'll try to steal this election in 2020. The only reason we won in 2016 was because of their hubris. They were overconfident, and it cost them. So we'll see. We don't want to return that favor, but I hope. I mean, it looks thus far like Trump's a shoo-in, but they're going to try to crash the economy. They're trying to use this coronavirus to do it now. And then they'll try to blame Trump. And the problem is because they control the narrative, they get away with this crap. Yes, more people are waking up, but many people still aren't. And they still listen to what, yeah, I know Trump's been doing a really good job. I agree. On a lot of things. There's still things I criticize him on, but it's time to lock up the criminals, right? It's time to lock up Comey, We'll see what Durham does, but I'm sick and tired of their smug attitude. The coup is ongoing against Trump, and no one's been locked up. You know, but that's for another story. So I'll probably wrap this up. My brother's supposed to be coming out here soon. So let me just say, thank you everyone for listening. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm never going to schedule. I will do like these car videos every Sunday. So I go to work at 9 o'clock on Sunday night. So I'll probably like 8:30 be doing these car videos. They'll usually just be like 15 minutes. But I might just do videos like this if I have something to do and I have to sit in the car for a while. So it won't be something scheduled, but thank you so much. Now, I might be doing a video with the Patriot Hour later today. I'll say stay tuned for that. Also, if I could, instead of asking for donate, you know, on most of my description, you can find where you can follow me on Twitter, DLive. You can donate to me on Patreon. You can donate to me on PayPal. But what I really want to focus on today is if I could ask you guys, if you wanted to do something to help me out. My live streams have been doing good. I think I've been getting a decent amount of attention. But a lot of the like videos that I do, for some reason, it doesn't get as many views. Some as low as 30, some to 80, 90. So I'm trying to make a push to do those regular videos too. And someone suggested me that I try to do basically like 2-minute videos just because people's attention span's low, and then I could put them directly on Twitter. So I've been putting out some 2-minute videos I did yesterday. I might today. So if you could check those out, and if you like them, like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. It'll take 2 minutes of your time. So yeah, please check that out. And sometimes I release multiple videos in a quick span. So if you just look for the newest video, check, because there might be a new video 1 or 2 behind it. Thank you, Kenneth. I really appreciate it, man. I really do appreciate it. So thank you to everyone that gives me financial support. I'm going to routinely update on everyone on exactly where that money's going. Every dime of any money that someone's giving me right now is going directly into this channel. So I need a new computer. I need a microphone for my phone here, because when I go to Trump rallies and things like that, I'll be able to record live now that I've been monetized. So I really appreciate it. So, all right, everyone. Thanks so much. You want to say goodbye, Annabelle? Dorothy, you want to say goodbye? Oh, no. They heard the wind, so they're not going to say goodbye. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Kenneth, for the donation. You guys are the best. And yeah, just periodically check my channel out today. Might be doing a live stream with Mike from the Patriot Hour, who's awesome. You should check out his channel. It's great. We're going to be talking about some conspiracy stuff about the Clintons. We got a video coming up, whether it be today or tomorrow. So, all right. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good one.